So I gotta say, this episode of My Girlfriend is a Gal won me over. It truly won me over. I told you guys it wasn't a harem series. It wasn't labeled as a harem genre. And it proved that today because it could have gone the NTR route, you know, that harem route so many times. And it said no. It said this is about a guy who is a pervert who thinks this woman as a piece of meat and is going to develop. And we see that in this episode. Is he still a pervert? Sure, but he does have those morals now. And I gotta say, the first Ranko scene, that's where we're gonna start. We're hopping to the second one right after this. Just seeing how, you know, he's thinking about it. He's like hesitating. He's like, what about Yami? What about Yami? What about Yami? You know, he's thinking all these different things. And he turns it down. And it shows that he would have, I mean, before he got with Yami, he most definitely would have gone with Ranko, right? He must definitely, no doubt in our minds. And I was kind of like, whoa, is this just teasing what's going to happen? Or, you know, are we just going to be teased all the way up until the end? Or what's going to happen with the show? And I gotta say, once we get to the final Ranko scene, and we see him just, no, he's not having it. He's not doing it. And so those are some vulgar comments by her saying, okay, I'm not going to go into it, but he's never going to want to sleep with anyone else again after she's done with him. And I got to say that I did not see, like, the way they built it up, the way they set it up and presented it, you know, finding out that Ranko actually likes Yami because Yami is, like, basically her first friend. We see that through the flashback, right? The context, the setting, and events we got. It just demonstrates that Yami was the first person there for her. So there is that attraction to, well, Yami. We get to see that. And just having our main character, Junichi, you know, just won't do it, you know, just pushes her off of him and just won't, he just retaliating out of his, you know, out of his ass. I love that. I love that scene. I thought it was presented great. I thought it, you know, is very tasteful, right? I absolutely loved and adored that scene. And, I mean, she's adorable. I've never seen a character design quite like Yami. So I gotta say, hey, come on, guys. We all know that female anime characters are usually always 10 out of 10s, 12 out of 10s. But Yami is, she's on some tier. She's in the goddess realm. She is high and above, easily competing with anyone any female character, any of my waifus, just by looks alone. And she's adorable. She's actually a down-to-earth sweetheart who's really shy, really nervous, and really wants to be with Junichi. And she's just winning me over. That thumbnail should say it all. Because Junichi gains all the, you know, in this episode he truly gains morals, and he's obtaining them, right? Slowly but surely. And then, I mean, from the time those two guys were hitting on her, he would have never, you know, stuck up for her before in the past if he didn't have this connection to her, right? If he didn't have this attachment and he wasn't being protective now because he truly cares for her. As we've seen, you know, that was foreshadowing in episode 2. But the fact of the matter is, I love how he's figured out being with a girl is someone you like. Being with a girl is someone that you don't just love for outside, you know, appearance. You just don't love, you know, what's on the external side of things. You love the internal side of things too. You love the outside and the inside. And I just want to reiterate that was awesome. On a serious note, it looks as if the show's just going to be a bunch of tests and trials. We have the black-haired girl, of course, right? The really cute, innocent one, which I think that one's going to be really hard for him because I think he'll have a better connection to her. Ranko's just kind of coming on to him, and he's getting a taste of his own medicine. I think that just kind of threw him off, and you know, at the beginning. And the black-haired girl, I feel as if like that's someone who she's sweet, innocent, and nice. Yeah, she's going to be aggressive with him. You know, she wants him, but nonetheless, I think that's going to be a difficult one. I think that's going to be a really entertaining one. That's where will, you know, where Junichi will really find himself. I mean, he's truly found himself, but I think that's really going to put him to the test on how much he's found himself. But I got to say also at the same exact time, there is an ED with a girl with red hair. She's in the ED, right? So I'm wondering, that girl's probably going to be a main character, or support, not main cast, but you guys get what I mean, a main plot point or a main point in this story. So I'm really interested to see who this girl is. It looks like a younger upperclassmen. Looks like it. Looks like it's going to be a brown girl inserted in the story. But other than that, guys, you guys have been hacks. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, X25. And this show just keeps getting better.